The only certainty in life is death. Despite this, it remains shrouded in mystery, raising more questions than answers. One intriguing example of this is what happens in our brain at the moment we leave this world. Until recently, there weren't many scientific studies dedicated to this topic, but that reality is changing. Recent discoveries challenge old beliefs and bring new possibilities for understanding, including regarding well-known near-death experiences. In this video, I will show you what happens in the brain at the moment of death, based on the most up-to-date evidence. This field of study has gained new momentum with the research of neuroscientist Jimo Borjigan in the United States. During an interview with a television network, she revealed that her interest in the topic arose unexpectedly while conducting experiments with lab rats. During these tests, 2 rats ended up dying, and something curious was observed. One of them showed a massive release of serotonin, a neurotransmitter linked to well-being. This sparked Jimo's curiosity, leading her to investigate this process in more detail. In 2013, she published a study on rats that had suffered cardiac arrest. When the heart stops beating, blood circulation is interrupted, and the body cells stop receiving nutrients and oxygen substances essential for their function. Without this support, they collapse, and tissues and organs begin to fail until they completely shut down. But what happens in the interval between cardiac arrest and the death of neurons due to lack of oxygen? Professor Jimo's studies revealed that during this period, there is an intense activity of neurotransmitters, which are crucial substances for communication between neurons. In the rats analyzed, for example, serotonin levels increased 60 times. Meanwhile, dopamine, another neurotransmitter related to well-being, showed increases of 40 to 60 times. According to the neuroscientist, these levels are extremely high, even compared to normal healthy conditions. In 2023, researchers at the University of Michigan took things further, investigating what happens in the human brain at the moment of death. They monitored 4 comatose patients who were kept alive by mechanical ventilation. Unfortunately, these patients were in terminal conditions, and both doctors and families concluded that no further treatments were available to save them. With the family's permission, the ventilators were turned off, and the patients had electrodes attached to their heads to record brain activity during the dying process. The results surprised even the specialists. It was believed that the brain, when deprived of oxygen, would gradually slow down until it completely stopped. However, 2 of the patients showed a significant increase in brain activity, especially in gamma waves, the fastest ones, associated with information processing and memories. Unlike what was observed in rats, where the activity was widespread, in humans, some specific brain areas showed higher activation. One of these areas is called the temporoparieto-occipital junction, TPO, located at the intersection of 3 important nervous system regions. This structure is associated with sensory perception, consciousness, dreams, and even visual hallucinations. Some studies also link this region to empathy, the ability to put oneself in another person's place. Another highlighted region was Wernicke's area, located near the ears and involved in functions such as language, hearing, and memory. However, some caveats must be considered. This was an initial study with a small number of participants, meaning more research is needed to confirm these findings. Additionally, it seems that not everyone experiences this increase in brain activity at the moment of death. Out of the 4 patients in the University of Michigan study, only 2 exhibited this phenomenon. These results also connect with so-called near-death experiences. You've probably heard stories of people who, after cardiac arrest, reported vivid sensations. Some say they heard the voices of the medical team treating them. Others describe a feeling of being outside their bodies, watching the scene from above, or seeing a light at the end of a tunnel while reliving life memories. International statistics indicate that about 20% of people who go through a near-death experience report such phenomena. Professor Jimo believes that the increased brain activity identified in the studies could help explain these experiences. She highlights that in the 2 human patients analyzed, the areas linked to memory and vision became extremely active, which could justify the sensation of intense memories and visions. Furthermore, the neuroscientist raises the hypothesis that this hyperactivation is a survival response in situations of extreme oxygen deprivation, similar to how some animals hibernate. In this scenario, the brain would shut down non-essential functions, preserving only those crucial for attempting to restore breathing and heart function. Could brain death be reversible in the future? Although this idea sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, some research is already exploring this possibility. One example is a study conducted at Yale University, in which scientists managed to restore blood circulation and the activity of some brain cells in pigs that had been dead for 4 hours. Although they did not succeed in reactivating the electrical activity associated with consciousness, this experiment challenges the notion that brain death is entirely irreversible. So, what do you think of these discoveries? Do you have any questions or curiosities about the topic? Leave a comment, and see you next time.